Hello YouTube, this is Max T Blitz here again with part 2 of my analysis of this Veleta Vurobi robot. So basically today I'm going to be doing a bit of a test run on it to see what it actually does. So what I've done since the unboxing, I put the wheels back on. Apparently you can actually, when you take these wheels off, you can actually, with this particular component here, you can separate it even further to actually get any further dust and lint out. But as you can see, what I've done is I've taken one of these static disposable basically wipes here, and I put that on the Velcro strip which is on the outside there, so that's basically sticking it down. It's a little bit dirty because I did a test run of it first to see what it was going to do, but I'm going to show you now exactly what it does do. So I'm going to run this in my kitchen here and see exactly, show you exactly what it does. So I'm going to use the 30-minute version first. I don't want it running for 2 hours, but I'm going to stop it anyway. So here we go. So as you can see, as it goes around, bumps into the walls and various objects, just like that. When it detects it can't actually move the object any further, it'll just bounce off in another direction. Usually it bounces off in the direction that you would expect it to if it was like a hockey, like an air hockey puck or something like that, except for that time it went in the opposite direction. So it does have a very random way in which it moves, and like I said in my previous video, that's very similar to what the various other vacuum cleaners do that don't have any sort of proper navigation. So, you know, this is just very random floor pattern cleaning. But then again, you can't really ask for anything more for something that costs $35 on sale. And I think that's actually quite a good bargain for $35, considering the fact that, you know, you can go out there and buy an iRobot Roomba or something like that, set you back about $600, and it'll give you almost the same sort of navigation that this one's doing right now, which I bought for $35. Now obviously, of course, that's not a fair comparison, because the iRobot Roomba does have a lot of, you know, well, the fact of the matter is it's a vacuum cleaner, so it's going to suck up dirt, but all this one is really doing is just wiping the dirt as it goes. But the iRobot Roomba as well, it does have things like, you know, wall following programs programmed into it and stuff like that, as well as dirt sensors which they've patented. This thing is not going to do any of that. It's just going to bounce off the walls in random patterns and wipe the dirt as it goes. And of course, that's the only problem there, of course, is that that little black, looks like almost like a record, you know, an old LP record for people who are old enough to remember them. If that is actually very thin, and of course it can go underneath the space between doors, so instead of it actually cushioning the blow of the vacuum cleaner hitting the wall, it'll go right through the gap between the door and the floor, and of course that'll actually hit the robot itself. But then again, all that's going to do is just make a bit of a noise, and then it'll bounce off in the other direction. So yeah, that's basically all it does, is back and forth just like that. Hits an object and then just bounces off in the opposite direction. So for turning it off, I imagine it's just a matter of catching it, which in this case you can either press the button, or in this case I'm just going to catch it so I can actually press the button. But if you have a look underneath, that's basically what it's doing. So that's, yeah, that wheel will just basically go randomly, just like that. And you can see there, that's exactly what it's going to do. Let me turn off that. Okay, so as you can see, that's how it's going to pick up dirt, basically. It's just going to get dirty and dirtier, pick up hair and dust and so on. So you can see all that lovely stuff I've got on my kitchen floor. But yeah, once that reaches the point where it's quite degraded, it's just a matter really of pulling this off the Velcro and putting on one of the other ones. So I was a bit worried with the texture of this of these actual cloths, but they're not too bad actually. It feels like it's going to be a little bit tough, so it'll last quite a few cleans. And I've got like I said, there are 3 that came in the box with the actual machine, and refills that cost $10 for 20 actual refills there, so that's not too bad. Of course, the cost of the machine, of course, is $35. You buy a refill for, you know, $10 for 20. So after, you know, you've gone through about, what, 60 refills or so on, you almost, you know, got the actual cost of the machine itself again. But yeah, that's basically what it does. So there you go. It's got the 2 hour mode as well, which of course is just going to be the same thing. I don't know what actually happens when it hits that hits its actual limit, whether it runs out of battery first. I don't imagine it would run out of battery first. I think it'll just hit that half-hour mark or 2-hour mark, and then it will just stop. And then it's a matter of playing hide and seek to find out where it actually stopped. So, because it doesn't have a base station to recharge, it'll just stop randomly wherever that time limit ends. So yeah, you just have to go around the house and find out where it went. So that's the actual Verobi robot in operation. Okay, see you later.